ka na ba?
Yes po, sir.
Lat. Nandiyan ka na ba, Lat? Lat.
Yes po, sir.
Villegas, wala pa. Agila. Nandiyan ka na ba, Agila? Agila. Wala si Villegas, wala si Agila. Nasa si Laurance. Laurance?
Po, sir.
Laurance. O, di ba this coming October, merong CPA board exam?
Ito po, alam.
Di mo alam? O, meron tayong taga-CCTing examen, ha? Now,
Ano po,
I'm
sir?
not expecting... Di ba this October, merong CPA board exam? Meron.
Po ata, sir.
Merong taga-CCC na examen. Now, I'm not expecting so much. Talaga mahirap no? Mahirap ang examen. May mga times nga, ang lumabas na resulta, 16% lang ang pumasa. Ang lupit. Yung batch namin, 16%. Tapos inulit na naman. 16%. Mahirap talaga. So, sa review school, makikita nyo, no? Napakaraming dapat matutunan. Skill in solving, dapat mabilis kang mag-compute. Bukod sa tama, dapat mabilis ka rin. Kasi kung kayo babagal-bagal, hindi mo matatapos yung the entire questionnaire. Kung ano yung nakikita nyo sa reviewer, ganun din eh. Ganun din ang itsura ng mga exams sa board. Although may madadaling questions, kaya lang, Kapag na-solve mo yung madadaling questions, kulang ka pa maka 75. Hindi ka pa rin papasa. Wala na mga madaling questions doon, mga 20%. Kulang pa rin. O sabihin na natin 40% madali. Kulang pa rin. Kapag gawin na 73 sa isang subject, para ka pumasa, edi kayo dapat yung maka 77 doon sa isa. Pambawi. Auditing, binago na ngayon ng Board of Accountancy yung subject. I was informed ng mga taga-TCC nagre-review ngayon, no? Pagdating doon sa subject, board subject na auditing, 100% theory na. Wala nang problem solving. Ang auditing problems inilagay sa sa intermediate accounting, which is practical accounting 1 and 2. Now, kung yung auditing ay puro theory, di lalong humirap. Andiyan na ba si Aguila? Malaluan, nandiyan ka na ba?
Opo, sir.
Sino yun? Malaluan? Ikaw ba yun? Malaluan?
Malaluan
Ikaw ba yun?
po. Opo, malaluan.
Si Aguila, wala. Tison, wala ka ba dyan? Okay, so we are in that area, overview of risk-based audit process, no? So, nandun tayo. And Marco will be continuing for us to know more about the topic. Okay, so we hope that we learn much from his sharing of what he has read, he has studied, and what he will be presenting to us this afternoon. Pinori ba? Si Kasaba. Ay, Kathleen pala, no? Sorry. Kathleen pala. Okay, Kathleen, you start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon po, Sir Roy. For the continuation of Ms. Villaga's report with the title, Performance of Preliminary Engagement Activities. In summary, before accepting an engagement with a new client, the CPA firm shall assess whether it, 1, is competent to perform the engagement and has the capabilities, including time and resources, to do so. 2, can comply with the relevant ethical requirements. 3, has considered the integrity of the clients and does not have information that would lead it to conclude that the client lacks integrity. So, kailangan daw po yung kliyente ay marunong mag-comply ng mga requirements at maayos makausap. The CPA firm shall likewise establish whether the preconditions for an audit are present, such as whether the financial reporting framework to be applied in the financial statements are acceptable, agreement of management that it acknowledges and understands its responsibility. For the preparation of financial statements in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework, including were relevant to their presentation. So ano nga bang financial reporting framework na ito? It is a set of criteria used to determine measurement, recognition, presentation, and disclosure of all material items appearing in the financial statements or yung tinatawag na standards. Kailangan pasok sa standard yung financial statement. 2. For such internal control as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Kailangan ng financial statements ay free from material misstatement or walang maling information na nakasaad dito. To, pro- to provide the auditor with A. Access to all information of which management is aware that is relevant to the preparation of financial statements such as records, documentation, and other matters. Kapag may mag-audit, lahat ng information na dapat malaman ni auditor ay naka-prepared. Lahat ng records, documents na related sa mga i-audit ni auditor. B. Additional information that the auditor may request from management for the purpose of the audit. Kung ang auditor ay may hanapin pa iba information, need ni management na i-provide yun. C. Unrestricted access to persons within the entity from whom the auditor determines it necessary to obtain audit evidence. Kung si auditor ay may kailangan kausap na individual na nasa entity, halimbawa may nakita siyang mali or kulang na information sa in-audit niya, kailangan ipakausap ni management ang individual na ito para sa audit purposes. As a final step, the CPA firm will confirm and agree with management or those charged with governance the appropriate terms of the audit engagement. The agreed terms of the audit engagement shall be recorded in an audit engagement letter or other suitable form of written agreement and shall include the objective and scope of the audit of the financial statements, the responsibilities of the auditor, the responsibilities of the management, identification of the applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation of the financial statements, and reference to the expected form and content of any reports to be issued by the auditor, and a statement that there may be circumstance in which a report may differ from its expected form and content. Sa audit engagement letter, dito nakasaad yung agreement between the auditor and the client. This audit engagement letter is very important. Bakit? Yung letter na yan, kailangan ma-receive yan ni client or ni entity before the audit engagement. Once na ma-receive na ni client, i-review pa ni management yan. Siyempre, dyan nakalagay yung mga criteria na ihahain ni auditor, yung mga informations na kailangan niya, mga responsibilities ni auditor at ni management. Sa letter pa lang na ito, malalaman na agad ni management kung angkot pa ba yung mga kailangan ni auditor or kung below the line na. Ibig sabihin, may iwasan ang scope creep na tinatawag or yung mga changes na i-request ni auditor na hindi naman otorisado. So madaling sabi, kung ano lang yung nakasaad sa engagement or sa audit engagement letter, yun lang ang otorisado, yun lang ang dapat gawin both ni auditor at ni client. Recurring audits. On recurring audits, the auditor shall assess whether circumstances require the terms of the audit engagement to be revised and whether there is a need to remind the entity of the existing terms of the audit engagement. The auditor shall not agree to the change in the terms of the audit engagement where there is no reasonable justification for doing so. Nangyayari ang recurring audits neto if yung auditor ay naging auditor na the past consecutive years. Depende sa auditor kung i-revise pa niya yung audit engagement letter or hindi na. Pwede niya i-remind si client about sa existing terms or pwedeng hindi na din. Kung may ipapabago man si client sa existing terms na nakasaad sa letter, kung hindi man karapat-dapat baguhin, hindi dapat pahintulutan ni auditor ang changes na yun. If the terms of audit engagement are changed, auditor and management shall agree on record the new terms of the engagement in an engagement letter of other suitable form of written agreement. Kung may pagbabago man, syempre dapat both the auditor and the client ay mag-agree. If the auditor is unable to agree to a change in the terms of the audit engagement and is not permitted by management to continue the original audit management, the auditor shall A. withdraw from the audit engagement where withdrawal is possible under applicable law or regulation, and B, determine whether there is any obligation, either contractual or otherwise, to report the circumstances to other parties, such as those charged with governance, owners, or regulators. Kung ang auditor ay hindi pumayag sa gusto ipabago ni management, pwede siya mag-withdraw as an auditor ng entity na to. Pwede din niya iparating ang ganitong pangyayari sa owner ng entity or sa government agencies kung may error na nangyari. Figure 9.2, Illustrative Engagement Letter. Valderrama and Company, CPAs. 7560 Senator Hill, Puyat Avenue, Makati City. October 15, 2013. Mr. Alberto Santos, Managing Director, ABC Incorporated, 165 Tandang Sora, Quezon City. Dear Mr. Santos, you have requested that we audit the financial statements of ABC Incorporated, which comprise the statement of financial position as of December 31, 2013, and the income statement, statement of changes in equity, and cash flow statement for the year ended, and a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. We are pleased to confirm our acceptance and our understanding of this audit engagement by means of this letter. Our audit will be conducted with the objective of our expressing an opinion on the financial statements. Our responsibilities or the auditor responsibilities. We will conduct our audit in accordance with Philippine standards on auditing. Those standards require that we comply with ethical requirements and plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement. An audit involves performing procedures to obtain audit evidence about the amounts and disclosures in the financial statements. The procedures selected depend on the auditor's judgment, including the assessment of the risk of material misstatement of the financial statements, whether due to fraud or error. An audit also includes evaluating the appropriateness of accounting policies used and includes evaluating and the reasonableness of accounting estimates by management, as well as evaluating the overall presentation of the financial statement. So yun nga, pinaka-mainstream or the main point na pag-audit ay ma-secure ang financial statement ni client or ni entity. Ito ay para ma-assure kung wala nga ba incorrect information na nakasaad sa financial statement. Bakit nga ba dapat tama or walang material misstatement ang financial statement ng isang company? Dahil ito ang pagbabasihan ng mga future investors or the creditors or yung mga shareholders na mag-i-invest pa in the future. Ang una nila nga hanapin ay yung auditor's report. Siyempre dahil dito makapag-decide ng maayos whether to invest or not. Dito kasi nakasaad yung judgment ni auditor about sa status ni company, kung makakapag-operate pa ba ng pangmatagalan or hindi. So kailangan talaga accurate ang informations ng financial statement. Because of the inherent limitations of an audit, together with the inherent limitations of internal control, there is an unavoidable risk that some material misstatements may not be detected, even though the audit is properly planned and performed in accordance with PSA. So kung ano lang yung nakalagay sa mga supporting documents na binigay ni management, doon lang magbabase si auditor. So possible na hindi lahat ng errors ma-detect ni auditor. In making a risk assessment, we consider internal control relevant to the entity's preparation of the financial statements in order to decide audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstance, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the entity's internal control. However, we will communicate to you in writing any significant deficiencies in internal control relevant to the audit of the financial statements that we have identified during the audit. Ang risk assessment ay foundation ng audit. Kung ang audit ang main course, ang risk assessment ang appetizer. Kumbaga, hindi makukumpleto or matatapos ang audit kung walang risk assessment. Sa procedure na to, mas maintindihan ni auditor ang company at ma-identify niya kung ano yung mga risk factor na hinaharap at kakaharapin pa ni company in the near future. Unless unanticipated difficulties are encountered, our report will be substantially in the following form. Form and content of the auditor's report has not been reproduced. The form and content of our report may not be amended in the light of our audit findings. Management's responsibility. Our audit will be conducted on the basis that management and those charged with governance acknowledge and understand that they have responsibility. A. For the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in accordance with Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. As I said earlier, ito yung standard na sinusunod both ni management at ni auditor or yung financial reporting framework na tinatawag. B. For such internal control as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Ang financial statements daw ay kailangan free from material misstatement or incorrect informations. C. To provide us with access to all information of which you are aware that is relevant to the preparation of the financial statements such as records, documentation, and other matters. Additional information that we may request from you to the purpose of the audit. Unrestricted access to persons within the company from whom we determine it necessary to obtain audit evidence. Kailangan i-provide ni management ang mga supporting documents na kakailangan pa ni auditor, mga additional informations at mga tao na kailangan makausap ni auditor as part of the audit. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So, class, I hope by now, very clear sa inyo ang trabaho ng isang auditor. Now, what we are seeing, alam naman natin at this point na maraming klase ng audit, ano. Now, we are seeing the audit of the financial statements na pinaperform ng mga external auditors, no? Sa viewpoint ng company, ng auditee, may kailangan nila ng clean opinion ng auditor para naman yung kanilang financial statements tatanggap-tanggap. Sinong tatanggap ng unaudited financial statements? Okay? And then, sa side naman ng auditor, ayun nga, no? They have to be independent in their views, ano? Kasi ang reliance ay nasa kanila no? Ng mga stakeholders. Oo. The reliance is placed under examination, audit examination. Alam naman natin na in auditing, the auditor has to follow some standard procedures, no? And must be able to gather sufficient evidence, no? Sufficient evidence. Now, so the auditor must be well trained, well experienced, no? Well experienced. And the audit staff should listen and follow those senior auditors, no? And so may responsibility, mabigat din na responsibility or may responsibility ng management, ano? Oo. So sa kanila, kung merong business statement, no? Nasa management din yun, no? Nasa management din yun. Kasi it's possible na hindi talaga ma-detect. Kahit pa yung auditor is very careful doing the audit procedures, ano? Anyway, mahirap naman hindi ma-detect kapag yan ay material misstatement, ano? Kaya nga very importante yung experience ng isang auditor, especially if auditing an entity belonging to the special category of industries, ano? Like insurance, banking, yan yun. And in an auditing firm, mga auditor, they are undergoing so many seminars, training, no? How to audit entities belonging to special special industries, no? Special industries. Okay, so being an auditor, you have to know so many things that for the auditors only, no? Oo. Mga audit procedures, okay? Mga attitude at mga attributes para sabihin kang siya kang ganap na auditor. Okay. Any question, comment, reaction from the audience at this point? Si Kathleen, meron ka bang concern?
Wala na po, sir.
Okay. So, we go to the this time reviewer. Ano? Let us see how the problems look like in a reviewer. Malaluan, Kia, you may share us your screen.
Rinig po ako.
Oo. Magandang screen, magandang volume ng boses mo. Okay.
Chapter 5, Risk Assessment and Internal Control. Question number 1, PSA 315, which is identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement through understanding the entity and its environment, requires the auditor to perform risk assessment procedures at A, the financial statement level only, B, the assertion level only, C, the financial statement level and the assertion level for classes of transactions, account balances, and disclosures. And letter D, either the financial statement or assertion level. With that, the answer should be letter C. The financial statement level and the assertion level for classes of transactions, account balances, and disclosures. With that, risk assessment procedures are performed to obtain an understanding of the entity and its environment, including the entity's internal control, to identify and assess the risk of material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and the financial statement and assertion levels. Question number 2. The auditor risk assessment procedure should always include the following except letter A, inquiries of management and of others within the entity. Letter B, analytical procedures. Letter C, observation and inspection. And letter D, substantive test procedures and test of controls. The answer should be letter D, the substantive test procedure and test of controls. The auditor's risk assessment procedure shall include, first, inquiries of management and of others within the entity who, in the auditor's judgment, may have information that is likely to assist in identifying risk of a material misstatement due to fraud or error. Second, analytical procedure. And last, observation and inspection. Under number 3, substantive test procedures are audit procedures designed to detect material misstatements and the assertion level. Tests of controls are audit procedures designed to evaluate the effectiveness of controls in preventing or detecting and correcting material misstatements at the assertion level. And question number 3, the auditor's risk assessment procedures, A, by themselves, do not provide sufficient appropriate audit evidence on which to base the audit opinion. Letter B, should not consider information obtained from the auditor's previous experience with the entity. And letter C, are designed to detect material misstatements at the assertion level for classes of transactions, account balances, and disclosures. And letter D, are designed to test the effectiveness of the entity controls. And the answer should be letter A. By themselves, do not provide sufficient appropriate audit evidence on which to base the audit opinion. Question number 4. The auditor should obtain an understanding of the entity's objectives and strategies, and those business risks that may result in risk of material misstatement. Which of the following statements concerning the entity's business risk is incorrect? Letter A. Business risk is broader than the risk of material misstatement of the financial statements, though it includes the latter. Letter B. An understanding of the business risk facing the entity increases increases the livelihood of identifying risk of material misstatement. And letter C, the auditor has the responsibility to identify or assess all business risks. And letter B, business risks may arise from development of new products or services that may fail. The answer should be letter C. The auditor has responsibility to identify or assess all businesses risks. With that, as defined in PSA 315, business risk is a risk resulting from significant conditions, events, circumstances, actions, or inactions that could adversely affect an entity's ability to achieve its objective and execute its strategies, or from the setting of inappropriate objectives and strategies. The auditor does not have responsibility to identify or assess all business risks facing the entity because not all business risks give rise to risk of material misstatement. Question number 5. The risk that the auditor may give an inappropriate opinion when the financial statements are materially misstated is called A. Detection risk, B. Business risk, C. Audit risk, D. Inherent risk. The answer should be letter C. Audit risk. Question number 6. Audit risk has three companies: inherent risk, control risk, and detention risk. Which is correct? A. Detention risk is a function of the efficiency of an auditing procedure. B. Cash is more susceptible to the thief than an inventory of gold because it has a greater inherent risk. C. The risk that material misstatements will not be prevented or detected on a timely basis by internal control can be reduced to zero by effective controls. And letter D. The existing levels of inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk can be at the discretion of the auditor. The answer should be letter B. Cash is more susceptible to the thief than an inventory of gold because it has a greater inherent risk. With that, the three components of audit risk are: first, inherent risk is the susceptibility of an account balance or class of transactions to misstatement that could be material, individually, or when aggregated, which is misstatements in other balances or classes, assuming that there were no related internal controls. Second, control risk is the risk that is misstatement that could occur in an account balance or class of transactions that could be material, individually or when aggregated with other misstatements in other balances or classes, will not be prevented or detected and corrected on a timely basis by the accounting and internal control system. And last, detention risk is the risk that an auditor's substantive procedures will not detect a misstatement that exists in an account balance or class of transactions that could be material, individually, or when aggregated with misstatements in other balance or classes. Cash has a greater inherent risk than an inventory control. Answer A is incorrect because detection risk is a function of the effectiveness of an auditing procedure, not its efficiency. Answer C is incorrect because even the most effective internal control has inherent limitations. Thus, control risk cannot be reduced to zero. Answer D is incorrect also because inherent risk and control risk exist independently of the audit and therefore cannot be changed at the discretion of the auditor. The acceptable level of detection risk is a function of the desired level of overall audit risk and the assessed levels of inherent risk and control risk. Hence, detection risk can be changed at the discretion of the auditor. However, it should be emphasized that the auditor's preli- preliminary assessment of inherent risk is control risk may change as the audit work continues. And last question, number 7. The risk that an auditor's substantive procedures will lead to the conclusion that a material misstatement does not exist in an account balance or transaction class, where in fact, such misstatement does exist is A. Control risk, B. Inherent risk, C. Audit risk, D. Detention risk. The answer should be letter D. Detention risk. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, class, sa board exam, auditing, ngayon ginawa ng 100% theoretical. Yung dating mga problem solving, dinala na sa tinransfer na sa practical accounting na sinasakop ng sakop ang intermediate accounting, nado ng intermediate accounting. So, alam mo, mahirap, no? Diba? Ito hindi rin madali sagutin yung mga theoretical questions. Okay? So, marami pa yan, hindi madali na ito yung correct answer among A, B, C, D, no? A, B, C. Oo. So, anyway, wala naman nakaka 100% sa auditing board examination, no? Okay. No more reporter. Marami pa tayong oras, Oo. Ganun oras pa tayo? 7? Oo. Kaya na kapag maraming reporters, nakakapagod din no? So, marami next time. Oo. Lalo na yung mga second year ngayon. 2 section, no? Bawat isang section, 40 students. BSMA second year. Lahat yun. Mga 80. Kayo, ilan kayo? Mga 4, kalahati lang kayo. Mga 40 lang kayo. Okay, class. Any question at this point? Ating photographer this evening, si Rose Ann. Rose Ann, are you there?
Yes po.
Okay. Gusto natin ang ating mga camera. Kung magbubukas yung camera ko. Oy, stop sharing pala, no? Stop sharing. Okay. Oh, sino kaya ang aking hindi? Aha. 16? Sino kaya hindi ko na-sulat dito? Uwa, Villapando, Nosidal, Magtibay, Teres Santos, Caresma Maderaso, Casabal Banderlipe, Alvendras Tenorio, Espiritu Lat, Malaluan Aguila. Ito, 16. Kulang pa ng 2. Si Dison, Sino paano nawawala? Uy, may nawawala ah. Ba't? Ba't 16 lang to? Paano pa nawawala? Jason? Remove the kinagla from the call. Fill out an abuse report. Block from this call. Close. Remove. Ano yung close? Hindi ko maintindihan to. Okay. So, 16 lang tayo. Dalawa nawawala. Sino kaya yung dalawang yun? Sana si Jason. Uy, meron pang isa. Uwa, Bidepando, Nosidal, Magtibay, Perez, Santos, Taresma, Maderaso, Casabal, Pandarlibe, Almendras, Tenorio, Spiritu, Lat, Malaluang, Agila. May isa pang nawawala.
Villegas.
Sino kaya yun?
Sir,
Villegas.
Villegas
Oy,
po.
Villegas. Nasaan ka? Kanina ka pa namin hinahanap. Hala.
Sir, kanina pa po ako naka-join.
Nasaan? Villegas. Ayun. Nakita kita.
Sir.
Oh. Oh, kita na kita. Teka, yung aking camera ayaw gumana. Oy. Pagod na aking laptop. Kanina ka kasi umaga. Wala, ayaw na magpakita yung camera ko. Oy. Camera. Ayaw na gumana yung aking camera.
No, si ba't ka natawa?
Okay, class. Yan na, bukas yung aking camera. Ba't ba ganun? Ayan. Oh,
Okay na po.
si Rose Ann. No, si Dan. Oh, ikaw na magbilang. 1, 2, 3.
1, 1, 2, 3.
Teka. Oy. Teka muna.
Sige po.
Para maganda-ganda ang view. Ang picture. O sige, you count. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
1, 2.
Yan. Tapos na. Oh, kahit tayo face to face. Screenshot. May screenshot pa ba yun? Wala na. Face to face. Kahit tayo namin. Cellphone. Ba't ring mag-alarm? Okay, register na class. Bye-bye. We will meet again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you.